Here is our drone video for Tract 10 at Elk Ridge in Shannon County, Missouri. Wow, we zoomed right in on that sign there. So we're on the north end of the property. The truck is parked on one of the trails at Elk Ridge, just off of the highway. And there goes the drone up in the air. Let's have a look at Tract 10. We're looking southerly now. Whoop, and now straight down. So there you can see the highway on the bottom of the screen as we're still basically looking to the south. And the truck is parked on, like I said, one of the trails at Elk Ridge. We came in on an approach a little bit to the west and took that little trail that crosses over the north side of the property. There's also an approach to the east you can see right there on the left side of the screen. So a couple ways to get on that north end. Panning to the south here, and this is a really cool property. It's actually fairly wide. It's I believe over 400 feet wide, and then goes down to the south for a really nice distance as well. So it gives you just literally dozens of places to camp or build or hunt on the property. I believe in just a moment we'll fly to the south and we'll have a look at this property. Looks like we're going to drop down a little bit. I took this video pretty recently, so I'm trying to recall. I mean, this was just within the last day or two. I wanted to get as low as possible, but I didn't want to clip the trees either. I'm clearly in no danger of that. It's still a couple hundred feet in the air. Tens of thousands of trees on this property. Mostly younger timber. Property was logged 4 or 5 years ago, and we've got thousands of 4 and 5-year-old trees. Although you'll find quite a few medium-sized and a few mature trees as well. So we're just basically heading south. There's a pretty good overview. And Tract 10 is a really a cool tract. It's got the, like I said, the network of trails at Elk Ridge for property owners and their guests only. It's a good way to get to the middle of Tract 10. And then also, although I've never been there, I've only seen it on the aerial, there is a trail that gets you to the southern end as well, which is pretty interesting. So we just passed over one of the trails. So we're looking at about the middle of the property. There's a look down at a trail. So those trails are just for four-wheelers or maybe side-by-sides. They're really not suitable for cars or trucks. Pretty primitive, rough trails. They're meant to be. They'll always be that way. So we're still heading south. Taking a pretty good look at it there. And I'm trying to keep my eye open to see if we can, as we get to the southern end, or we're getting closer. This drone flies really quickly. We're getting closer. I think we can probably see the trail that brings you to the south end of the property. And if you look at the aerial maps on the listing, you'll see what I'm talking about. There, it's just about in the center of the screen. You'll see a little open area, a little clearing, and that's going to be one of the trails, one of the existing trails that takes you right to the south end of the property. Now again, that wouldn't be by car or truck. That would be with a four-wheeler or a razor or with your hiking boots. But if you want a supremely private place to set up your campsite, there you have it. It looks like it's fairly level. It's actually partially open. And I just looked at a topo map while I was talking here, and it indicates on the topo that it's level too. So now did we spin around? Are we looking? There we go. Okay, looking back to the north. And you see that the green cleared line there about midway in the screen, that's power line, which crosses over the property, roughly the middle of the property. But that's, I guess, what they call a high wire. So I don't know if you could tap into that for residential power. But there is a residential power line that crosses directly over the north side of the property. So you do have access to power, which can be hard to come by on hunting land. Really a nice bonus if you ever need it to have that power directly on the property. So we're kind of slowly heading back to the north. There you can see the highway in the distance. I mean, you've just got a lot that can be done with this property. You're bound to find some surprises on here. Looking at the topo maps that we have, 2 indications of what could be springs or very small creeks. You'd have to verify that for yourself. We haven't checked that out. But you could spend a long time if you really wanted to explore this property thoroughly. There are caves in this area. They're, I mean, very nearby. And the topography here with some of this up and down, the topography lends itself to possible cave sites. So that might be cool to explore. Now we're headed back here to the north end where the truck is parked. Very peaceful area, nice people up there. Eminence is a great little town, which is just a few miles, just about 3 or 4 miles to the east. If you go west, you can visit Alley Spring, which is a beautiful freshwater spring. You've got National Forest all over the place, Mark Twain National Forest. So in the unlikely event that you get tired of hunting your own property here at Elk Ridge, you can head over to the National Forest, and you've got a few thousand acres that you can also hunt on. There's a good look at part of the trail system there. The four-wheeler trail system. So really cool property. Tract 10 at Elk Ridge. That is a nice one. Check us out at InstantAcres.com. If it's still available, we'd love to work with you. If not, we'll find you something good.